Ozzy from Ozzy Boys, and you're watching Reptiles Unplugged.
I'm John Feely of Feely's Clutch, and you are watching Reptiles Unplugged.
This is Will Rose from Royal Canadian Reptiles, and you're watching Reptiles Unplugged.
Guys, it's KB Reptiles.
Team Helga.
Team Beard.
And you're watching
Reptiles Unplugged.
It's Justin from Jacob Reptiles.
All right, guys. So here we go. We're about to go live here, and we got our guest today over here. Is Mr. Chris Graham is ready to roll for us. So
do you mind if I just get a drink real quick and just stop you real fast?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You need to. Okay. Yeah. No, we don't have to go live yet. You're good.
Oh, classic. Well, what's up, chat?
Yeah, how we doing, everybody?
Oh, yes. Welcome back to Reptiles Unplugged. We are live here on the podcast, are we not?
We're live, man. We're live.
So I'm going to welcome both of you to the Macho Madness podcast, and thank you for coming on to the show. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let both of you go ahead and ask me any questions that you feel is necessary, and I'll answer them. And we're probably going to ruffle a few feathers here, so if you're a little thin-skinned, now is the time to click the exit button and leave. Otherwise, you're for a good time. They call me just the ice and champagne. That's all I am, is just the ice and champagne, and I'm here tonight to entertain you. Understand what I'm saying? So let's start this podcast. I turn it over to you to ask away.
Well, how we doing, everybody? So here we go. We got Macho Man in the house. He's an avid reptile breeder.
Oh man, that was awesome, Chris. Dude, Macho Man.
How's Chad going, everybody? We're pumped to have everybody in here. Mr. Wang's in here. That's always a good sight. Can't go wrong with that. And I guess before we get going too far here, is the audio doing good for everybody? How's everything going? And then again, to remind everybody, we are about 15 seconds behind, so we're going to do our best to keep up with chat and then answer everybody's questions. But yeah, I guess do a quick little intro here. I'm Joel from State 48 Xotics, and my co-host is Adam, and I'll turn it over to him really quick so he can do some chatting.
What's up, everybody? It's Adam from BeachBum Exotics. Thanks for everybody showing up. Tonight's going to be great in true Macho Man style. We are preparing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I guess, Chris, we can do that while everybody's kind of getting warmed up here. How did you get into reptiles, I guess, like that boring intro question?
Sure. So it all started because of YouTube. So when my daughter was about 5 years old, we were like laying in bed together and we were watching like YouTube on the phone, and like you kind of go down that rabbit hole of like watching videos, and then all of a sudden you click on another video, the next video, and before you know it, you're watching like snakes eating mice. And that's like literally what happened. We were watching like videos of, I don't know, High School Musical, and then we ended up watching like a ball python take down like a mouse. And so I used to have snakes back in the day when I was in like college. I had iguanas and corn snakes and ball pythons. And when I came home, my parents were like, yeah, you can move back into the house, but you've got to get rid of all the snakes.
Right.
So I ended up doing that. So we had no snakes for years now. And it was just, they were just pets. Nothing was breeding. It was just pets. So my daughter was like, these snakes are really cool. Like, can I get one? And she's 5 years old. And I was like, hell yeah, you can get one. So Easter was coming up. And so I kept putting the idea in her head. I was like, why don't we get you a snake for Easter? Why don't we ask the Easter Bunny to get you a snake? And she was like, hell yeah, let's get the Easter Bunny to get me a snake. So I reprimanded her for saying hell yeah at the age of 5. But we ended up going down to PetSmart because that was like really all I knew what to do. And they had a snake there, and I think I got like, it was like a 60% off sale they were running at PetSmart, and it didn't say it didn't apply to animals. So I bought it was a male killer bee, and it was like 60% off. I think they had it for like $200 or something. So I got like $90 or something. So I bought the whole aquarium, the heat lamps, everything that you're supposed to do with the ball python.
Right, all the stuff.
Yeah. Man, that's pretty cool that a killer bee was at your local Petco or PetSmart.
Yeah, I had no idea what that meant. I didn't even, it was just like yellow, and I was like, looks so cool looking. And because like back when I was in like college, it was just like normals. Like that was the only thing you could like really get for a reasonable amount of money, especially on a college budget. It was like $100 for like a normal ball python back then.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy though, and that is something, I feel like that's not. I don't know. I feel like Petco and stuff like that catches a lot of flack, but it does bring a lot of people into the hobby. I mean, that's where I got my first snake after I moved out from my parents' house. I went to Petco and got they sold boa constrictors at that time. But yeah, it was sick, and it ended up passing away. So, but it was still, it brought me into I was like, oh, there's reptile expos. Like I can go to like reptile expos and see a whole, event of just snakes everywhere. Like this is awesome, So
Yeah.
that's cool.
But basically, the way it like expanded from there, like, and I'll give a quick shout out real quick if you guys don't mind, but I'm not even going to stop to ask for permission. I'll just do it. So like, Miguel from Always Evolving Pythons, I give him a shout out. Harry Wang from Royal Canvas Exotics, Matt from Matt Byram Exotics, Will from Royal Canadian Reptiles, and Carrie Merrill from KB Reptiles. But the reason I bring them up is, well, mainly Miguel. I became friends with Miguel when he started his YouTube channel. And I used to watch all kinds of different like YouTube videos. I remember I used to watch like Gavin from Balls to You, Brian Gunn, like one of my favorite people to like get info from. But I came across Miguel's channel, and mainly because his wife was really attractive and she was in the background of a lot of videos, so I would just watch his videos. But we started like talking on the side, and he was like, if you have one snake, you have to have two snakes, and you have to try to breed them. And I was like, that's a cool idea because of my daughter. I was like, it might be a fun thing to get two snakes and breed them as like a project. And so he was like, I got you, homie. And he sent me a female calico. And so we had a boy and a girl. And I was like, cool, we can breed them.
Right.
And so that's kind of and then I was like, well, then I need like 20 more females.
Well, duh. Yeah.
Never
Never a doubt.
There.
Dude, for sure. That just speaks like, all right, so the pet store, big box chain stuff brought you in one aspect. Can't ignore that, even though as much as we love to hate on, dude, those dudes, they bring in a lot of people. And then like the next evolution to that is people start looking on YouTube at, finding information and things like that. It's such a huge source as well, bringing people in, networking, friends, dude, it's freaking awesome. So
yeah, there's a lot to it for sure.
Yeah. And it's like I'd go to like even Petco after I got this snake, because I'd go there just to get mice, because I was like, oh, I can get a mouse for $5. So that's, I guess, the right thing to do. And like you'd see like people selling, they even Petco or PetSmart sell like a normal ball python for like $90. And I remember like this one kid, his mom came up to me, we were just talking. They're like, I'm going to get this snake. And I was like, man, if you're going to spend like $90, you could just call Matt Byram. He's got like 100 of them in his freezer right now. He'd probably give it to you for free.
the super normal.
Shots fired.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I don't know if Byram's here tonight, but he'll hear about it. He'll hear about it.
I don't think he's been on YouTube yet.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows what YouTube is, actually, as it turns out.
He sells a smartphone.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess, so we kind of got like, what you're into and, how you got your start. So this isn't a full-time job for you then, right? Like that, I guess.
No, it definitely doesn't like pay the bills. It's like a hobby, or I'm kind of like that guy that should be on that show Hoarders with snakes. Like I just have a ton of them.
Right.
And I make enough money periodically with the snakes, especially the first year. Like I made enough money with the snakes just to like buy food to kind of hold, food for the snakes, not for me, but food for the snakes to hold them over for the next year. So it like kind of like just the first year doing it, like broke even on the money aspect of it.
Cool.
But I'm a retired police officer, so I'm fully retired right now. So I really don't I don't go to work. Like I don't go to a job like 9 to 5, Monday through Fridays type of thing. So basically like every morning just starts off with like coffee and snakes, like coffee in the morning, go downstairs, clean all the snakes. We only have about 50. And I say only, and for some people on the chat, 50 sounds like a lot. For some people in the chat, 50 is like a small collection. So it depends. Right. I don't want to come across, like rude or ignorant in any way, but we have a small, what I think is a small collection and easy for one person to handle.
Yeah. I feel like, that's like the number I'm encroaching on right now with like the babies hatching out this season, stuff like that. So I feel like that's like a good solid number, like 50 like that. I feel like there's a lot you can do with
It's
that.
definitely manageable. It doesn't
Yeah.
get you completely overwhelmed. It's I
Right,
think
right.
it's doable.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And it's crazy to say that out loud, though, to somebody I feel like outside of this hobby, like 50 snakes. Oh, you have 50 snakes?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You say that to a normal person?
Yeah, yeah.
I have 50
right.
snakes living in my basement, and they're like, they grab their kids and walk away from you.
Right? They're like, don't go to that guy's house ever. No
I
matter
told you
what.
to sit on Chris's lap.
Oh man. But
There we go. Okay.
yeah, but we need every single one of them. That's always because that's always the question. Do you need all those snakes? Yes, absolutely, every single one.
Oh, 100%. I just watched a video about talking about business. That has nothing to do with snakes, but it was basically like you buy things based on emotion, and then you justify it with logic. So like you buy a snake because you're like, that's effing cool, and then you like justify like, well, I need this female because I have you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
just
yeah, definitely.
emotion, and then you try to explain to your wife why.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's all a game, really, you know. So there's that.
Yeah.
So how long have you been then breeding? Then I guess like do you have like a year
So-
or something like that, or
Yeah, so what did we get, like snakes like 2 years ago, and then our first clutches were last year. So yeah, so we've had snakes for, I guess we're going in our third year, but only had a clutch last year. So we had 3 clutches last year. That was our first year doing it. And we ended up getting like a lot of like single and like dual gene animals our first couple clutches. Nothing we did do, we bought off Craigslist 2 pastels. They were both pastels and they were both het clown. And they were like, I forget, it was like for the pair was like $250. And I was like, I'll just want the female and I'll take the gamble. And then the girl was like, just take them both, please. Like my mom left me. She bought them at an expo. And I was like, maybe they're like legitimate. And then we bred them. And I was like, this is not going to prove out. And we got a killer clown.
no way.
And so, and it was a female. So we kept that and held it back. And so everything, we only had 1 clown out of that. We had 6 eggs. 5 of them were all, and we did like an egg cutting on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it was like first 5 were all pastels. And I'm like, oh, this sucks so bad. And the last week, I was like, oh my God.
Made it all worth it. It's like, yes.
It worked. It worked.
Yeah. So this year we're hoping for a little bit more, but we got 3 official clutches last year. So it was a lot of fun. And, when you're starting out, it was like a good amount to start with.
Yeah, heck yeah. That's what I started. Last year was my first season, like at State 48, and we had 3 here too. And that's a decent amount of work for your first. Like, oh my gosh, now there's like 30 snakes here all of a sudden. Like that adds up.
Yeah. What was something you learned from last season that you wouldn't do this season?
I would almost take it back to when I started was like buying all the males because they're like cheap, like people are like, yeah, I'll sell you a male. And I'm like, oh, cool. It's like a pie that's also het for this. And then I'm like, I have no females. So then I buy like a hatchling female and I'm like, oh, it's going to take forever for this thing to grow up. So then I started like selling off some of the males and I was like too male dominant. And so especially talking to like a lot of the people that I've talked to, I think the important thing is like becoming friends with people that have more experience and know more than you. And so I quickly learned I got rid of a lot of males that I shouldn't have bought, and I got rid of that mistake. And I just refocused. I ended up just getting more females that I could use, and I try to be smarter about my purchases and not so spontaneous. And try to be like more calculated on what I actually got. So
right, having a strategy.
Yeah. So be more calculated, right? That was kind of the first year.
Yeah. And I started to now treat it more like a business. I treated it in the beginning like this is just fun. Like I'm just buying all these cool snakes.
Right.
And now I was like, there's actually some money to be made. And I think at this point we're year 2 and basically through the snakes that I had either bought or the ones that I've hatched, at this point, almost every snake in my collection, including racks and everything, is all paid in full. Meaning, and through like snakes that we've hatched and sold. So I'm not like in the hole. And that was one thing that I didn't want to get to was like, so far in debt, because if you buy hatchling females, they're not going to breed for say 3 years. By the time they actually start breeding and actually ovulate and actually lay eggs, Your eggs hatch. Like you're at least 3 years in the hole until you start making $1 back if you're buying hatchlings. So
Right. Yeah, and that's time that you can't get back and stuff like, like it's not just like the money you're putting in, it's the time too for that I feel like you don't consider a lot of times.
For sure. Yeah.
So I guess on that then, I feel like you haven't, I don't know, been in this for, 20, 30 years. Have you noticed anything different from like when you were first kind of starting out to now, like in the marketplace, or is there any like, do you feel like there's a push in a different direction or anything like that?
Yeah, so I think now it's snowballing so fast of how fast people realize that branding and social media is like the most important thing. I had a conversation recently with somebody that I bought a snake from, and they had some amazing snakes, and they were only selling on Facebook. And I said to him, hey, do you have an Instagram channel, a YouTube channel? Do you want anything else that I could like give you a shout out or I could like connect with you on? And they were like, no, I only deal with Facebook. And this was maybe a few months back. And I said, so what do you do when Facebook like goes down or Facebook doesn't allow snake sales or really pushes that where it's really hard to sell snakes? I said, if your only market is like Facebook, I said, you're kind of pigeonholing yourself like really hard into something small. And he was like,
Right.
Kind of snap back a little bit. Like, I know what I'm doing. I've been around the block a few years there, type of thing. And I was like, okay, my bad for even saying anything. And now you see like Facebook is making it very difficult to sell snakes.
Super difficult.
Yeah. Like they're deleting like business accounts. Like if you are posting snakes for sale on your like Facebook business account, they're deleting full accounts and full groups of people that try to sell. So when that happens, you're screwed. If you don't have an audience in YouTube and you don't have an audience in Instagram, then you're really making things tough for you if you're going into this to breed and sell snakes and make some kind of money in return.
Right. Yeah, pigeonholing yourself into one platform, I feel like is that's a death sentence. Just for like what that like, you wouldn't have assumed, I guess maybe a year or so ago that all of a sudden Facebook's going to yank the doors, but that's their right, their site, their rules kind of thing, and then you're in a tough spot with that.
Yeah.
So
but also to like kind of just elaborate even more on that was like I've talked to friends of mine who have been breeding snakes for a long time. They have a wealth of knowledge, or they're very smart on all kinds of species of snakes. They've been around the block, for years. They've been doing this 20 years, but they don't like keep up with social media, and they're kind of stubborn as to like, I don't know computer, especially if they're like kind of old school or they're even if they're just an older individual who just couldn't catch up to the like technology wave. They don't do social media and they just cannot sell snakes. And,
right.
They've kind of looked at me different, or I'm sure other people like you guys that have only been breeding for, say, I would say anybody under 5 years.
Right. Yeah.
And in the hobby. And these people like us or anybody that's under 5 years come in and start setting up like YouTube accounts, Instagram accounts, Facebook accounts, and start hatching eggs and selling the snakes within the first month like that.
Right.
And they kind of like, they look down upon you and they like, it's kind of a negative thing. It's almost like a jealousy in a little way that you figured out the market. But snakes aside, this is a business. But for most people want to breed snakes to sell them. If you're selling anything in any regard, it's a business. And that's how you have to look at this,
Yeah. Well, most definitely, right? I mean, I wish, I guess, I was in a position that I could keep everything that I breed, but not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, and two, what people coming in now need to kind of recognize is, I mean, some of these older guys, like they just kind of feel like people, I think now aren't really putting in the research, or they don't recognize how important the pastel is, right? But that doesn't mean go buy a bunch of pastels and breed it to a bunch of normals, right? Like we're beyond that point now. So recognize where we are. I think that's one of the most important messages take away from what you're saying is recognize where we are today. YouTube's needed, Instagram's needed, Facebook, even though I hate it's needed.
Yeah, I'm not a Facebook fan at all. I hate the interface.
I don't do Facebook.
You can push snakes fast. Like your hatchlings, I can sell hatchlings quick on Facebook, and so like I have to like give it its credit where it's due. Is you have to be a part of it, even if you hate it.
Yep.
Yeah. It is,
Exactly.
dude. It's Facebook's one of those things. Like I don't do with Facebook. I know I'm missing out, but man, I just hate it. I just don't like it.
No, I don't blame you. I don't
Yeah.
really like it either, but I just do it. But
I will say I do like the groups. Like there are quite a few groups out there that have some information that like I'm not seeing shared any other place. So, you have to sift through kind of the BS, I suppose, to get to the good
a
stuff.
lot of it.
But a lot of
It's discouraging, man. It's like you post one snake, just post one snake with a little piece of stuck shed on it, and watch how bad they look.
Yes,
Yeah.
the tables will
You
turn
have a
quickly.
stuck shed on a snake. You have no clue what you're doing in the snake hobby whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would
there's
never
def-
happen in the wild either.
right.
That would
The
never.
keyboard warriors are fierce.
Yeah, they are, dude. Keyboard
Yeah.
warriors are real good. So I guess on that, then, what do you think's the best method for brand recognition? Is it really all of them, or do you see one stronger than the other? I guess outperforming.
I think brand recognition in any business is the most important thing, right? You can have shirt companies selling shirts, and people will buy the same, tri-blend shirt because of your brand, not because of it's like a tri-blend. So if you can put the exact same shirt on hangers with a bunch of different brand names on it, people will buy based on brand name, not necessarily because of the material is better than another. So it doesn't matter if you're selling snakes or what you're selling. It's brand recognition is always going to be the king of the business. So if you can put out a product that's either cool or people can rally behind or people want to be a part of, that's how your business is going to succeed. So, not to give myself like a cheap plug, but we started a business. All of our businesses started due to my wife and her Instagram. The last 3 letters of her Instagram handle are SFB. It's K Graham SFB. So the SFB is our brand, and that's basically her mantra, which stands for stronger, faster, better. Right. And that's her nutritional company. That's everything that we kind of started. And from there, we started SFB Xotics, and we stayed with that name. And then we started our beard company.
Yeah.
And I won't say the full name because I don't want to have your channel. But Some FN Beard is our beard company, sfbeard.com. And it's all about branding yourself to the point where when people start to learn a brand name or whatever it is, they want to rally behind it. And we do our best, especially with our beard company is, with our brand is supporting all of those that support us. So anybody that supports us, we do our best in return to help them in any way that we can. So you want to build that brand that's going to be there to get people's backs, that people look at your brand and say, this brand is legitimate. This brand is out there doing good things, or whatever the case is.
And you guys have a great product. I've got, 3 different oils from you guys that I love. All of them are great.
Yeah, you've always supported us from day one, and I appreciate you so much for that.
Yeah.
Dude,
If this gets a little bit more crazy, maybe there might be some need.
Live chat. Joel, you said you haven't shaved in 7 years, correct?
That's 17 years. Yeah.
Incredible.
This is all growth, dude. This is all I get. I get
natural.
this white trash chin strap going, and that's all I got, man. That's all I got.
I think he needs some Giant's milk. I may have to
some
donate
Now
my
it's definitely getting shut down.
shout out to Giant's milk.
Shout out to HBO.
Yeah, here to Giant's milk.
Oh, too funny. Shifting gears, kind of jumping in sync with some of the stuff going on in chat. People are talking about reptile shows and stuff. And, what we've been talking about branding. So I guess to merge it, not really shift gears. I think reptile shows, expos, great way to network, great way to get yourself out there. You get to meet a lot of people, other vendors, which are other snake breeders. I have to tell you, I've ended one of my first years breeding with an old contact of mine that kind of got me into snake breeding. And we had a great time. I met tons of people. So, but which ones are you guys going to? Chris, are you going to anything coming up?
Kristen and I just booked Tinley. So we're definitely going to go to Tinley in October. Yeah. But other than that, she's actually started to look at the Arlington stuff. What's the one in Florida? Daytona.
Daytona.
Yeah.
And then you have the Pomona show. So we started to kind of look around to see like logistically what we can get and fit into our schedule. Some weekends just didn't work, but the Tinley one definitely works for us. So we have hotels and airfare, all that stuff is booked. So that's 100% for us.
Yeah.
So that's the only one right now that I know for sure that we're going to.
Right.
Awesome.
Tinley's a crazy show. That's
And
a
that's
good
where
one.
I met both of you guys. What in
Yeah.
October last year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
October last year. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a really good time, man. That was a ton of fun. It was really cool. That was my first Tinley, and then seeing those snakes there, man. They're like, dude, it's all the next level stuff is at that show. So it's
100.
awesome.
Even if you don't, I think even if you anything like you said, the networking in itself, like even I go to the White Plains in New York. Jim Lavelle, I met him, and we had talked on social media before this. And I remember he came up to me, he's like, "You're Chris Graham," and I was like, "Who the hell are you?" And because you just meet all these faces, and he's like, "Jim," and he's like, when he's like Ectothermic Dungeon, I'm like, "Oh," like people say their social media names, you're like, "Oh, that's who you are," and then you put the face thing, and I'm like, "Oh yeah," and so like even last Tinley, like all the people that like you get to network with, and people come up to you, and I know Barros, I think he's in the chat, I hope he is. You know, like a lot of people went up to Barros and was like, "Oh my God, like you're Chris Graham. Can you know? I love you." And he had like, "No, I'm not. I'm from Canada."
Canada.
And, yeah, Canada. And all I have are loonies and toonies on me, so I can't buy any of these snakes.
The worst. Just the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, but it's great to actually meet people that you talk to. And that's one thing I've been saying too. Like this is a little sidetrack, and I get sidetracked, especially because I'm drinking. I've had a lot of pre-workout. I don't know if you guys know what pre-workout is. It's a mix of cocaine and Red Bull. Really,
Yes.
True Randy style.
Yeah.
But no. So anyway, what? I don't even know what I was saying now. Just
I think we were meeting people at Tinley.
Yeah. I don't know. It's important. Go to these snake events.
Yeah.
The expos are important. We need to support them. It's good networking too. And if you have some snakes to sell, vending at them's fun. It is a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. So all the way around, man, I think they're good.
I know what you're gonna say.
Good.
Put a picture of your face on like one of your profile pictures once in a while. Like everybody that has just a snake Instagram, once in a while. And I've said this to a lot of people, is throw your face in there. I know everybody wants to take like the picture with the hand and the snake in it, and they just take that.
Snake hand, man.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Snakehandman.com.
Yeah.
Put your face in a photo once in a while, so that way it makes it so much easier when we go to these events. Because I always feel bad if somebody's like, "Oh, I'm so and so on Instagram," and I'm like, "You've never posted a picture of your face once. I wouldn't know that."
Right.
You know, and I feel bad about it, but it's just one thing that I picked up on over the last, like, say, year or so was like, put a picture of your face periodically. Like a selfie with the snake, just so people can start to recognize your face with your name.
Dude, I like
I've
that
noticed
a lot.
I've noticed my posts do worse though if my face is in it. So I typically try.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was going to do better.
It's a strategic post, okay? It's not a post for the likes, okay?
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah. So we've got out here in California, we have Pomona coming up in August. That'll be a good one. There's also San Diego coming up. I think this next weekend.
I think it's this weekend. No, yeah, next weekend. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to make that one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And and then yeah, Pomona though, I'll be going to that for sure. And then we have CRBE up in Canada.
Yeah.
Chris, dude, you and Krista should join us up there.
Yeah, I was talking to Will, and we were kind of talking about that just recently. So, is that in Vegas? Because he was telling me to go to Vegas, I think, that weekend.
I think it's a little more north.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
very
barely.
close though.
Barely.
That's actually, I'm almost positive that's the Olympia weekend, which is in Vegas. Because that's what, September, I believe September... When's Olympia? 13th, 14th, 15th, I think, something like that. 12th, 13th, 14th, whatever it is. So we'll be at the Olympia in Vegas that weekend as it is. So I think that was the reason why we couldn't go. But we did want to. We did look into it to see if we could try to go.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, I think the CRB will be fun. Olympia will probably be a ton of fun too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I could choose going to see like a bunch of dudes and snakes or like a bunch of girls at a pool party in Vegas, I mean, I don't know what I would pick.
I don't know.
Just
I'm not
pulling.
seeing it. Yeah, I'm
So,
not
Joel,
seeing
I
really
think-
a decision there.
That should be one of the fire round questions that we add, I think, going forward. Chicks at a pool or snakes at an expo?
Yeah.
How committed are you? Oh, man.
Yeah, we know where Chris's loyalties lie. So.
It's not me, it's Macho.
Yeah, dude, I
All
get
kinds
it.
of,
I
like,
get it.
steroids and stuff. It's not me, it's him.
It's not even your fault.
No.
Okay, so I guess back to some random snake questions. Do you have a project that you're like most excited for, maybe you're working on now? And then do you have a project that you're aiming for? I think we lost you. Okay.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Got you.
So to me, I think like anything double recessive is like going to be the new recessive, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
to me, recessive genes are like important. So like you've got to somehow sprinkle a recessive gene in there. Or that's how it was at least last year, it seemed. But now it's like double recessive. Like if you don't have a double recessive, like you don't have anything.
Yeah.
So, especially like when you have all the clown pied stuff, like that stuff I think is really cool. And that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to try to do. But I have a lot of like albino pied stuff. I have a spider black pastel that's double het albino pied.
Right.
And that's breeding with a pied that's het albino. So like a black pastel albino pied would be fun.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and then we have like at the auction in March at Tinley, Kristen bought a super enchy banana, and then that's het for clown. And then we put that with a couple of our like clowns and het clowns. So we had a pastel het clown that just ovulated. And so she should be, hopefully she got knocked up by this super enchy banana that's het clown.
Yeah, I was just,
Nice.
I didn't know if that was a super banana inchy. It's a super inchy banana.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So that we could get some, if we can get like an enchy banana clown, that would be amazing.
Dude,
That's
yeah,
really-
those are great.
For like this year, and I'm talking just this year because
Yeah.
who knows what your brings, but like I think that's the one that we're pretty excited about.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
going to be a good one.
yeah, I think that's the one of the ones that did ovulate, or the eggs that we are expecting to get. That's the one that I'm looking forward to the most. My luck, a different male got it, and
Yeah. That's
he
just
did
how
put
it goes.
a male killer clown to the pastel pet clown. So I wouldn't be terribly upset if that happened, but I'm hoping, at least that way I put the super with it too. So if Enchi start coming out, we know which dad it was.
You'll know right away on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool though. I mean, and either pairing there will be nice because you can get super pastel clowns in the other direction too,
Exactly.
which isn't a bad
Yeah.
gig.
And I know you work with other species. Do you have any other species that are going to be going this year, or?
This year, no. We did. So the other species that you're talking about, so we did just take in, at Tinley, we bought a super dwarf retic from Garrett. And I know you just had Garrett on your show not long ago. So we got our first super dwarf. After we got that, we ended up, some people know the story, but there were circumstances that happened to a person that we know, and they passed away, and they had about 15 rather large snakes, and the family didn't know what to do. So Kristen and I ended up stepping in, and we kind of made a donation to the family and took in their collection. And in that collection was more retics, 2 retics, and we didn't know anything of them other than they looked kind of older, and they weren't very big. They were about 7 feet long. So I was like, either these retics are completely underfed. It ended up being a male and a female, but we didn't know anything about them. They just both looked like normals.
Right.
And so I went on Facebook and I searched the person's name, and I was just digging and digging and digging, and finally I found a comment that he left on somebody's Instagram or on somebody's Facebook, and I found the original breeder. So I reached out to the breeder. I said, listen, can you please find some information from this guy that might have bought snakes from you back in 2015? And he was kind of reluctant at first. And finally, I was like, please just go through your email, search his name, do whatever you can. And finally, he comes back. He goes, yeah, this guy bought 2 retics from me. They were both super dwarfs. They were 62.5% Calatoa. Both of them were possible het snow. And so I was like, wow. I was like, I have 2 small retics. I didn't know anything about them. And so we did just put the male to the female for the first time, but the female was like not with it. And so she started, like, when you put them together, she immediately started like wagging her tail a lot. She was scenting like all over the place. And so she was just like very not with it. So we ended up separating them, and we're going to just try again, probably maybe give it about another month or two, and then we'll try it again and just see what happens.
Right.
But the male was fine with her. He wasn't like territorial, not aggressive, but she just wasn't receptive. So I don't think that breeding is going to happen this year. But both of those were born in early 2015, and they're both about 7 feet long, the male and the female.
Yeah, that's pretty
Awesome.
cool, man. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Can I show you one of the other ones that came in that collection?
I don't know,
Dude,
I don't know
for
why
sure.
you wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, let's see. This is just one of them. So this is an Angolan Python.
Oh yeah, how awesome, man.
Yes. So these guys are like ball pythons, except like with a lot more personality. So their heads look identical to ball pythons. Their bodies are very similar, except their scales are a little bit different. They're a lot rougher down their backs. Like when you like run your fingers down their spine, their scales are a lot like bumpier and a lot more abrasive.
Right.
And they're very like hissy, like a Burmese python. They're very like loud and vocal.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
The cool thing for me is like when you open a tub of a ball python, like they don't even move. Like you open them and they don't even know that you opened it.
Yeah.
But these guys, the
there's-
second you pull their drawer open, their head is up and they come right out at you. Like they immediately start to come out at your hand, but not in an aggressive way. They're just like, all right, I'll come out. And they're
Right.
very cute snakes. And
They
these
look so
are
cool.
just like so awesome to take out and like just have them out on display. They're very active.
So husbandry wise, temps and things like that, what are you keeping them at?
I'm keeping them right now. So they're like climate. There's not much information on Angolans. There's very little. And most people that do have them that I've talked with, they also are kind of like, we don't 100% know what we're doing. So I'm keeping their temps similar or just about 2 degrees higher than ball pythons just because they're a desert snake. I put smaller water bowls in there to keep their humidity as low as possible. So everything else that I've been told is that they are more susceptible to like RIs and they don't like humidity because they're a desert snake.
Oh wow.
So I keep smaller water bowls. They don't.
Paper?
What's that?
Are you on paper or some?
Yeah, I keep them on paper towels sponsored by Bounty.
Well, duh. Like, what else would you use?
Wait, not the Kirkland brand? You don't buy in bulk, man?
No, we actually have spoken with Bounty and we have received a small sponsorship through Bounty. Watch how many emails Bounty now gets after this podcast. But no, so they're on paper towel. All my snakes are on paper towels.
Okay.
I have everything on Bounty, and literally, like I've used a bunch of different paper towels. Bounty just actually does do a better job.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and so these guys, I have a male and a female, and they're both about 600 grams, and then I have another big breeder male that's about 1,200 grams. And so, from what I understand, is most of the females will get like big ball python size, like 4,000 grams. So
Okay.
you'd see as like a big ball python.
Are they longer or like, because a lot ball pythons are kind of heavy bodied? Are those as heavy bodied?
I think they're almost very similar.
Okay.
Like their body shape and structure is very similar to a ball python. If anything, maybe slightly thinner and longer, but this whole snake in general is very similar to a ball python.
Right.
Sweet,
Yeah,
man.
that's really cool. I didn't know about the humidity thing. That would be a great Arizona snake.
Yeah,
For me.
exactly.
Yeah.
If we just somebody that lived in Arizona.
Yeah, dude, that would be great because I have 0% humidity here.
Yeah. I would just sell off all your ball pythons to me if I were you.
Yeah, I could probably just like, I don't know, bulk. We could swap for
Yeah, I'll
your
give you this female right here.
Yeah, that female.
Yeah, the one Angolan.
Yeah, the one Angolan. Yeah.
The one in Golan.
I'll give you my racks too. That'll work.
But yeah, to me, and I've said too, they're just ball pythons with like personality. Like
Right.
they're just a lot more active than a ball python is.
Yeah, that's cool. I want one of those so bad. I've wanted one for a really long time. I rarely see them. I haven't seen really one at a show for sale. I don't even know. That's crazy.
No, and even if there's like we talked about Facebook, there's groups on Facebook and just everybody like has a couple, but nobody's even breeding them or
Right.
very rare that you see somebody breeding them and actually posting them for sale.
Right.
Yeah.
They are definitely hard to find.
Yeah. That's a bucket list snake for me. So that's I'm jealous. I'm very jealous of that.
Yeah, I like the Angolans too.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's see here.
So do you have anything that'd just like take a massive bite to the jugular so we can drive up some view counts here?
Just took in a baby giraffe.
Are they usually aggressive? The baby giraffes?
I don't know. We'll find out. No, we have like I said, the big 2 Retics. They're amazing. They're food aggressive like crazy. And I've only had Retics now since like March, and man, somebody should have warned me about Retics. Garrett get a Retic, and he was like, don't be a peeper.
The Retics, I feed everybody at night, and I feel like, I don't know, not to rag on ball pythons, but I feel like they don't really, they know it's nighttime, and I guess they, because they're nocturnal, but like my Retics know that nighttime is not playtime. And I had to open the cage for one of my Retics, and dude, it's like the nicest snake in the universe, and she would not stop biting the snake hook. It was crazy. She was just in just rage mode. Like, where is that rat at? And there is no rat. Like, there's not even a smell of rat. Nothing. But it is nighttime, and she's ready to rumble. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So.
Yeah, I recently posted a video on my Instagram. The same thing. I went to feed it a rat, and I only have like small tongs, and the snakes are like kind of big. And so he missed, and I dropped the rat, and then he just kept coming out, and he didn't even know the rat was behind him.
Yeah,
and so he kept
I was watching that.
Like enclosure, and I had my little snake hook, and I'm like, I'm like yelling at it like it's a dog. I'm like, down. I'm like, stay. and then he bites the snake hook. And I'm like, well, this thing's insane. I'm like playing tug of war with a Retic. I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. I'm like, this is a little bit extreme.
Yeah, it is. You need to. I bought it looks like the long, like what you would pick up like a rattlesnake with, those long clamp hooks. I bought that to feed the dang Retics now, so I can get the rat as far away from me as I can to get it in there. So invest in one of those, man.
When they're out, they're like phenomenal pets. Like they come out, they're so gentle and curious, and I've never had a problem with them whatsoever. But man, when they're hungry,
yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
It's a different story. Just like a woman, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing, man.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so I want to hear. We've got to ask the question: what's the sleeper gene for ball pythons? What do you think?
I would definitely say, so I have an idea of something that nobody's working with, and I don't see it anywhere, so I think I'm going to try to make a world's first of a super spider. And the reason I say that is because what's great about them is that if you breed it to a normal, you'd always get spiders. And anybody that hates on them, you know what I mean? You could see me at the flagpole at 3 p.m. if you want. I'll get Tinley in October. Anybody doesn't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, those super spiders, they are rare.
See them.
Yeah, you just don't see them.
Yeah, everything in your collection should have spider in it. That's the message here.
I 100% agree. No, so anyway, I think Desert Ghost is by far, and I think it's just Will is always in my ear about them and posting pictures, and I don't know, Desert Ghost to me is maybe it's just because that's what I want next. That's the next thing I want to get into. But
yeah,
I think Desert Ghost does it for me.
Yeah, that's a.
I don't think that's a sleeper gene. I don't think anybody's I don't think anybody's sleeping on Desert Ghost or anybody. So I don't even know if that's the response. But
well, I think it's picking up popularity, especially just the more and more examples you see from certain guys like Will or Fireball. These different breeders just keep producing amazing Desert Ghosts. So, yeah, I'm a fan. I want to put Desert Ghost in just about everything.
Yeah, Spider and Desert Ghost. And I looked at also, I like puzzle, but I think Will apparently has every single puzzle there is, and he won't sell them to anybody. Or at least that's what I hear in Canada. There's a lot of people upset in Canada over Will's hogging up all of the puzzles. So
yeah, there's that.
He's hoarding.
Anybody in Canada, step up to the plate and go see Will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stop running your mouth on social media and do something about it.
Yeah, somebody go handle that guy. Dang it.
Yeah. Hey, I heard there was, I don't know if this is true, but at Tinley, you guys will be there too, so maybe you've heard it. Did anybody else hear about a boxing match at Tinley? Like a charity boxing match at the U.S. Arc auction.
That's what I was hearing.
Yeah.
They were going to get the big gloves. You know,
Yeah,
the
the
ones
super
you
big
see.
gloves. Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
there was rumors of that. I don't know if it's been confirmed.
Maybe in the chat on the side, some people can comment as to who they'd like to see in this charity auction. I'll try and set it up for everybody.
Right, right.
Yeah, who, what breeders would we want to see go at each other?
Yeah, like if you could pick 2 breeders to fight it out, like in the chat, like who would you want to see? Don't be afraid, just type it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is a safe place. This is a safe
Yeah, we're at the trust tree.
Yeah, trust tree.
Yeah, 100%, not even a doubt. I want to see Harrison versus, I think, anybody. I just want to see
Harrison would those lucha libres with the little mat doing flips off the top ropes and stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
Ignacio, my pants are dirty. Oh man, that not
So
the
Miguel versus Kristen.
Harry
versus me? No, I would actually probably want Harry on my team.
Absolutely.
Harry, like, he'd be running around taking out people's ankles.
Jake versus Billy.
Harry versus Helga, the fight of the year. Get some like Canadian people in on this too.
Yeah.
Find 2 people in Canada.
International, man. International fights. You can sell those tickets.
Oh yeah, I'd pay for it.
100%. Dude, I would for sure pay for the Kristen Miguel fight. That right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's a little weird. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's gonna drastically take a turn.
Oh, that would be funny.
Okay, so last random question I have for you, and then we'll hit the lightning round, and then we'll dive into chat. Where do you see this hobby ending? Do you see this being something that you retire with, or you ever want to be full time, or are you just happy where you're at?
I would never say that I want this to be full time, just for the fact that I want this to keep going. But I would never, for me personally, I would never settle with just like one job or one career. Like I can make this full time, and I'll run 5 other businesses on the side.
Right.
So I think if people look at this as just this is your full time job, you kind of stop doing everything else. And I think just in life, it's so short that you've got to hustle on everything else. Like when you have your hustle going, you have to have like a side hustle going also. So would I make this full time? Like, I don't know, maybe. Like, I mean, it's in my house and I can check on them at any point, and especially because I work from home. So it's, I don't know if it's ever really full time for me, but I do want to keep growing. We're at 50 snakes right now. I want to hold back a few snakes this year and keep it growing. Maybe going into next year, if I was at like 70 snakes, I think I'd be happy.
Right.
But I don't know where I see this in 5 years.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing though. I mean, because this hobby evolves too. I mean, I feel like we've seen an evolution just in the past 3 years of the hobby itself. So it is
right.
hard, but
You might see a lot of people moving from ball pythons towards carpet pythons or retics, or you might see a different snake that kind of just like takes off like crazy, like especially with retics. I mean, I know they're big and that's a downfall for a lot of people, but the amount of different like morphs that are out there for like reticulated pythons, to me, it just blows my mind how quick things sell. I mean, like I don't know if you guys know this, but they get huge, like they get big, and like people buy mainland retics like they're going out of style.
Yeah, they don't stay small. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah, they don't stay small. And
everybody's got a retic that they bought, and I'm like, that thing's gonna get like huge, like it's gonna get really big.
Yeah, like need another person in the house big. Like
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your wife, hide your kids, is going to eat everybody big.
Yeah, like apex predator big. Like that thing's gnarly.
Baby pigs.
Yeah,
like small.
Yeah, that's a serious animal. Like when my dog doesn't do that, and I have a pretty big dog. So,
what's your dog's name? Retic food?
He might not. I don't know. That'd be a big retic to get hammered down.
To get hammered. I don't know. According to the interwebs, it's happened at least 5 times.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
See those photoshopped ones, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
See, that's why we got to miniaturize them. Everybody's got to jump on the super dwarf bandwagon. Gotta keep working at miniaturizing these things.
Yeah. I mean, we
Yeah,
did it with dogs. There's
Yep.
chihuahuas out there.
Annex. Chris is retired PD. Yeah, retired police officer.
Okay, so you ready for lightning round? Are we ready for that?
Well, this is like the thing I was dreading. I'm gonna probably have like my battery die right now, and I'm just gonna edit it out.
Yeah. All right, these are super easy. They're super easy. So you're gonna knock this out of the park. Okay, so would you rather vacation in Hawaii or Alaska?
Hawaii, 100%. I hate the cold.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, see that wasn't so bad. That wasn't.
Yeah,
so
no,
bad.
I feel better now. Now the next one.
Yeah, that's a good warm up, dude.
Chlamydia or gonorrhea?
Ooh, chlamydia every time.
All right.
What's your favorite candy? Are you there? Did we just lose you?
Candy, anything chocolate, like Reese's Pieces, the Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh my gosh, yeah, great choice. So are you a bath or a shower kind of guy?
Shower.
Yeah.
I do have like a touch of femininity inside me, so like every once in a while, like a little bath with some candles and like maybe like a bath bomb once in a while.
Some Toto playing in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. So this is a fill in the blank. So fill in the blank. Taylor Swift is
my ex-girlfriend. Why do you do that?
The beard.
I set this up for you.
Yeah. One time. She was a nice girl.
It's no big deal. You don't like to brag about it though.
Right.
Yeah.
She got my Swifties.
Yeah. Okay, so last lightning. Boxers or briefs? Or brief boxers or boxer briefs?
Boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs. Okay.
Yeah.
The hybrid. You're a hybrid kind of guy. Okay.
Yeah. I think outside the box a little bit.
Yeah.
I was betting you were gonna say free balling. That's
That's what Adam and I talked about earlier. He said, he's going to say free balling, right?
You know, I was going to say, if you really want to know, just ask your mom, but I didn't even do it. That's true.
We set you up for so many different avenues there.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, that kind of wraps up all of my ranting.
Good job. You made it through the fire round.
Yeah,
man.
you did it, dude.
Good job.
Yeah.
That was solid.
A lot better now. Now we can start drinking.
Yeah, exactly. Now there's no more stress, man.
Taylor Swift is taller than Harrison. Yikes.
Yeah, that might be accurate.
I didn't get to read any of this chat. I thought for sure I was going to be able to like multitask and do both.
It's hard, dude. It's hard.
It is.
Pythons goes commando. Damn, BC, that's a lot of information, but you're a good guy and I like it.
Yeah, so I guess Adam, you got anything? You want to open up to chat? What are you thinking?
Sure. Yeah. No. We could definitely open up the chat.
Yeah, we're kind of at that hour mark.
Yeah. Jason from Morph Mixology earlier was asking why the Annex and not a snake room. So what kind of decision processing? Because I know if anybody follows you, they've seen your video of what you guys are building out and stuff. So
Jason, you tell my wife that snakes are going in there and not gym equipment. Good luck.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
No,
but the snake's down in the basement. That's because.
So we have a full finished basement and we don't use it, and it was just kind of like sitting there with nothing to do. And so we started putting, like, probably other people have done this, like we started getting snakes and putting them in like the guest room, and then we had like a small rack of like 3 snakes, and then it was like we need 5 28-quart tubs, and then we need 5 more, and then we need a hatchling rack, and then all of a sudden like our whole guest bedroom was just snakes and racks, and I was like, we can't even have anybody stay at our house because our whole guest bedroom is filled with snakes.
Right.
And so we ended up just moving everything, and our basement was finished at one point, but we had like a small flood. I don't know if anybody heard of Hurricane Sandy, but she came through and like effed up the Jersey Shore pretty bad, and so we had to do our basement, and that was kind of like motivation. My wife was like, if you redo the basement, the snakes can go down there. And I had that thing redone in like 72 hours. I didn't sleep.
Dude, I wish I had a basement or something like that instead
And
of
we
just
didn't
a little
cut like a
20 by 20.
percentage of our basement. I mean, we could fit literally, I don't know. I think honestly fit 1,000 snakes down there. I mean, we have 50.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't even take up a small corner of it, and that's including like retics and stuff. So
Yeah, and retics take up a lot of space.
yeah, so I definitely think we can handle almost an unlimited amount of snakes down there.
Yeah.
It's got to be nice too. Then like year round, like environmentally controlled, kind of like pretty easy down there. You know.
Yeah, it's we don't really. In the winter it gets a little cooler than it does in the main house area. So we do just like space heaters, like one space heater is good enough. But other than that, we really don't have to do much down there.
Right.
That's cool.
So Will asked from Royal Canadian Reptiles, any combination you could have right now, what would that be?
If he could send me a desert ghost or a puzzle, I would love him for that.
Yeah, this is a genie in a bottle scenario. Like what would that be?
Originally, like I love pieds, and in the beginning, but like seeing so many pieds that come out like high white, and in the beginning I thought that was a cool thing. Like when I got into snakes, I'm like, pieds are like the thing I want. And then like I see so many like cool pieds that can come out, and they're like so much white that you can't appreciate all the other stuff in it.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, I'm kind of starting to like almost back away a little bit from pieds, and I love clowns. But like, and I feel like Will owes me a couple beers for this guy. I feel like I've thrown his name out there way too many times. But
Absolutely.
like he sent me a lot of photos in like group chats of like the desert ghost stuff, and like I said that earlier, but I mean, it cleans things up so nice. So,
Dude, it does, man. I don't think there's a gene that it goes bad with.
yeah,
I haven't seen it yet. If it is,
Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, other than that, like I think I'm at the point, like it's weird, like I finally hit that point where like there's nothing that I like am craving. Like I'm content. Like when I first started with 10 snakes, I'm like, oh, I still need an albino this, or I need a clown this, or a pike this, whatever it was. And now I'm like, I think I have a lot of things that I need. Like I picked up from Miguel, produced the Mardi Gras clutch, and I have a male Mardi Gras that I got from him. You know, so like little things like that. Like I feel like I finally hit those snakes that I had on my list. Like those 10 you have to have. The only thing I don't have is like the clown pied, and that's the one thing that I do kind of like want to start shooting for. So
we can get you dialed in with that here.
Yeah, I know. That's
there you go.
Yeah,
we got that coming. But no, I agree. Yeah, I'm you know, sort of like that. Like you have all the snakes, and now it's putting everything finally together. You know, getting the snakes all into the one snake. I feel like is the battle now.
Yeah. And even like the other thing that we also moved into, the other snakes that I didn't even mention was like boas. We have probably about I don't even know 6 different boas. And I think Bernie, he might still be in here. Breeder Underground, yeah, he's in here. He helped us out on like an IMG boa, and I don't know if you guys are like boa people.
Yeah,
or people that,
IMGs, man.
IMGs are like they get blacker and blacker the more they shed, and eventually they're like a solid black snake. Really amazing.
Increase melanistic gene, I think, is what that. Yeah.
Yeah, watch enough Dave Palumbo videos. He's big on it.
Yeah, he is.
Good
He's
job,
real
Joel. Being smart for the show. Good job.
Yeah,
Good job.
There's been a lot of dumb on this show so far. I feel like
we didn't even rehearse this. Like that was really good.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
You were quick on the Google.
Yeah, dude, I got fast fingers, man. Trust me.
But yeah, so the boa stuff, like that's the other thing that we want to get into. Hopefully this coming fall, we're gonna have two boa females that are gonna be ready. But we have one male that's ready. And so with boas, I don't know if you guys have ever bred boas, and I haven't. So the male boa you'll typically throw in with the female in like say November, and you'll leave him in there until like February, and then hopefully by like February she ovulates. And a lot of people will feed them in the same enclosure. Like you don't like it's not like ball pythons. Like you'll put them in together once a month, pull them out, feed them, and then separate them. The boas you'll keep together. And I think we kind of talked about this, or I talked to some of you guys before about like somebody asked me about like being a new breeder or being like and I think it's so important that if you're like a new breeder, if I can give any advice to anybody, is like owning up to being like a new breeder. Like we did talk about it earlier about the people that have like 20 years experience. If you're like new in the hobby, is like owning up to that shit. So like I'm new with boas. I've never bred them in my life, but I'm gonna probably try. From everything that I've read and all the research I've done, I think I'm ready to breed them this coming fall.
Right.
So hopefully, and to get like live birth, I think is going to be awesome. Like imagine just like waking up one day and like having like a bunch of babies.
Dude, yeah, you know exactly what you got. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's no eggs. Like they'll stay pregnant longer, but like just to walk down one day and look at your, in one of your like enclosures or whatever it is, and to see a bunch of babies just kind of swimming around in their own like goop and feces and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a 7-year-old moonglow boa. Dude, I don't have, like, I've never really planned on breeding her or anything like that, but I originally bought her as just a pet, because that was like my favorite boa, ever, 7 years, like it was, I sold, like, I don't know, sold my soul for that boa, really,
I didn't know you had a moonglow.
Yeah, she's really pretty too. She's like, I don't know. She's.
You got to show her off.
She's
just with her.
What's that?
You got to do a vlog with her. Like you got to do a YouTube video.
I do. Yeah. She's so she just hates me. She hates me, dude.
Most people do in this hobby. Most people do hate you.
I know. So I don't have her fooled. Is my point. Like I have my Retics pretty fooled. I do not have that. I've never fooled a boa. I've had a few boas. They hate me, dude. I don't know what it is, but. Yeah, she's really pretty though. So maybe one of these days I'll have to pick up a cool male from you and learn the ways of breeding. Because I hear breeding boas is really difficult, actually.
I do too, and that's what I'm nervous about it. And we'll see how it goes. But from everybody that I've talked to, it's not like super easy. So, but I figured why not try it? And
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got my my Paulsani. The Solomon Island ground boas, and I think next year my female will be up to size, and so I'm going to give it a stab on breeding those too. So
yeah,
good job, Savage.
All right, well, I feel like what do you think? A couple more minutes, see if anybody throws anything out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping for more like hate and stuff.
I know everybody's been good tonight. Like,
you can't drink like a ton of Jack Daniels and not fight somebody.
What a low key night, man. I will say, Nick called you out a little while ago. And said this is a very tame Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was on my good behavior.
Yeah, you did great tonight. We're proud of you. We're proud of you.
Just like everybody wants to monetize their channels, and I want to f that up for you.
Yeah, no, I get it. We're about 900 subscribers away from that, but yeah.
What did Bill say? Dream species?
Yeah, dream species. Yeah.
Like a cyclops snake, like one eye on the top of their head, like a water snake, something that lives in water, but one eye on the top of their head.
So this is a make-believe species, also.
The dream species, I can make it whatever I want to make.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know where we're at. I didn't know the validity of that. Yeah, okay.
And something that reproduces on its own once a year, like clockwork.
Did you just say? So you just said a one-eyed monster was your dream species?
It reproduces by itself.
This is turning south fast.
I think goop and feces is going to take off. I'm going to use that hashtag from now on.
Goop and feces.
Is that your new Instagram channel or Instagram handle?
I'm going to start an Instagram. I don't even know what it's going to be, but it's going to be
okay. So chat's demanding button or fly question.
Oh God. Okay. So this is an improvised.
I don't understand the point of it. I'm like still confused. Who actually does a button fly? Like,
this guy right here. This guy.
Oh, why?
That's why it's funny, because I'm apparently the. What's that?
Why do you use a button fly?
It makes me feel fancy.
You still use it as an adult?
As an adult, yeah. Why would it not be a children thing? Like, what's the adult part?
I've seen one like on a girl in like grade school, I believe, but like not anymore.
So wait.
And a lot of like overweight women use them, I think.
Are you trying to tell me you don't use a button fly? Is that where this is going?
I've never seen one. I don't even know where you get a button fly.
Dude, Levi's have button fly.
Is that in like a mall?
Yeah, they sell them in Walmart even. I think they sell Levi's everywhere.
I'm gonna go out looking for button flies and just do a try-on video and show people what button flies look like. Because if you're like me, I don't know, maybe like, where do you live? State 48?
Yeah, Arizona, dude.
We should have stopped at like State 47. 48 stars on the flag would have looked nice.
Dude, 48 is an even number. Trust me, that 47 would have looked ridiculous. All right.
So what I just heard is Joel's button fly just got the entire Arizona state kicked off the map.
It's not looking good.
They've been
man.
annexed.
It's not looking good. I'm rebranding to just Buttonfly Exotics.
Button fly.
I'd buy everything you sell too. Speaking of which, I need a hat too. Hey, you know what's funny is I started following you based on your hat and your logo on your hat, and I don't even have a hat.
Yeah, dude, I can get you a hat. I'm
Like,
making a new order.
Guy,
Wait, what?
I'll just PayPal you if you know anybody at State 48 Exotics that can like hook me up.
Yeah.
But your employees.
I'll talk to the CEO. See what we can get arranged.
Yeah. But that's actually where I started following you on Instagram. Was I think did you do a hat giveaway?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when I started following you, was the hat giveaway, and I didn't even get the effing hat, but I was like, that's a cool logo and a cool hat, and I started following you, and then I met you at Tinley, and I was like, it's not that cool.
Yeah, what a buzzkill.
But I still rock your hat though.
Hey, we did a dual interview vlog at Tinley at one point there in the
Yeah,
beginning.
did you post it on your YouTube?
Yeah. That guy stopped us. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I didn't post it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Is he in the chat?
I don't know. I didn't post it. The video sucked though. It did. Like,
Yeah, it was really bad.
yeah, it did. Yeah, it was a bummer. But yeah, I remember that the other day. Oh, Tinley, what a place! What a place.
I can't wait for Tinley.
Hey, if I can make one more plug real quick. For anybody that follows my old channel and doesn't know that I started a new channel, did you put that like in the description? So when people are
I didn't write that it was a new channel, but I do have your link in the description, and that is a good point. All of Chris's stuff is in the description, minus his Facebook, because I don't play with Facebook.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't want anybody to follow me on Facebook. But my new channel. So if anybody watches, I got like hate because my old channel had no comments anymore. So people were like I had people comment and they were like, I don't trust anybody that disables their comments. And what happened was, because I put my daughter in my YouTube channels, when I monetized, they were like, hey, you have like children in your videos who are shutting off your comments due to like online predators or whatever the case is. So all my comments were shut off, and I kind of just kept posting on that channel. And it just was annoying to not be able to interact with people, like to not comment back and forth, and I missed that. So Brian Cusco, he commented on something and was like, why don't you just start a new channel? And he's probably, who knows, maybe he's being nice or being a dick. But so like, start a new channel. And so I ended up doing that. Like the next day I started a new channel. I was like, I'll just start fresh. So back in the day I had a lot of subscribers. Now I don't. So I would appreciate if anybody can follow my new channel.
Yeah. Let's pump that number up there. We need to get that going again.
Exactly. And I still think you should turn the old channel into just like antagonizing people, saying so since they can't comment.
Yeah, I'll just go live whenever I'm drinking, which will be every day.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good start. Be Macho Man every day live on that channel and just go in.
Well, alrighty, man. Any last bits from Chad out there?
Yeah, we don't want to keep anybody too long. We try to keep it just over that hour mark.
Yeah, no, it was fun.
Yeah, this was a really good time, dude. We'll have to do this again. Maybe we'll do a live interview from Tinley as we're walking around on this channel or something like that. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, so next time maybe I'll include Kristen too, because she felt left out. So
we'll have her join right now. Say what's up.
Come on, run over here real quick. Oh, you have a snake out. Come here. She has her snake out.
This is perfect timing.
Hurry up, run over. She's like tight. I guess she's in the chat too. She's been like,
yeah,
she's been very active.
She's been super active. Yeah.
Oh, you feel left out? Come join.
I don't feel left down.
Here, let's see. You can get in on this. Is that good? Can you guys see her enough?
Yeah.
Little more your left.
What's going on, guys?
Dude, is that the Burmese?
Yeah, what do you got there?
Like, you check the
Oh,
chat.
tell everybody your stupid snake.
Oh, I have Daisy. She's my berm. She's like
Yeah.
over 60 grams now. She was, if anybody was with us at Tinley, she was real small at 200 grams.
Yeah.
She's huge now. This is insane. You smell
She's-
like alcohol.
Yeah, I've been drinking a lot.
Well, that was the November Tinley, right? Isn't that November?
No.
October?
October.
Okay.
No, we bought her in March.
Oh, no, you're right.
March,
You're
right. Okay, I couldn't it was
From
the second
March.
Tinley.
She was 200 grams. Now she's 1,000.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, that's crazy. That's super quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a growth.
Yeah, we force feed her rabbits.
As you should.
That's not.
As
No,
you
that's
should.
not true.
She's good looking. And
Yeah.
Kristen, I mean you, not the
That-
snake.
Are you done with that dog, Adam?
What's that? Oh, he's fighting me right now.
Take that dog when you're done with it.
Little Loki. Say goodbye, Loki.
It's over. It's
I
over.
know, he's biting me.
Don't get too dangerous with those thumbnails, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Man, good time tonight, Chris. And Chris, Kristen, thank you for helping us out in chat. We enjoyed talking with all you guys. So
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. This was our
Yeah.
our debut interview too. So thanks so much for being the start of what we're gonna call season 2. Yeah, we're gonna call
Yeah.
it season 2. So
Yeah, no, I'm honored that you guys even asked. So thank you very much.
yeah, really
Definitely.
appreciate it, man. I know this takes some time out of everybody's day. So and thanks everybody for showing up because I know that takes time to listen to us talk about nothing for an hour. So
Yeah.
that works out great too.
like Seinfeld.
Very uneducational.
Yes, absolutely. That's our wheelhouse. Okay. But all right, well, take it easy, everybody. Check everybody down in the description, and we'll till next time.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night.
See you guys.
That's it.